guys. You guys can hear me? Question mark. Hold on while I change this real quick. So yeah, let's just jump right in. I have no like real updates or anything. Well, I kind of do, but yeah. Chat, you're weird. But then again, if you're willingly following me, you probably already knew that. But yeah. Let's just get on into it. I didn't even know that like they had an actual like yeah. That's cool. I do not know if that is copyrighted or not, so we ain't gonna do it. Let's just turn captions on. Oh, there aren't. Nope. This is wild. Oh yeah, quick trigger warning, we are talking about murder. And yes, I do think this might be in Florida.
On the 4th of October 2009, the sun began to set over the South Atlantic coast, and the wealthy city of Boynton Beach started to settle down for a Sunday evening. It was around that time when 38-year-old entrepreneur Michael Dippolito, whose wife was out of town, decided it would be a good idea to hire an escort for the night. Just 35 minutes after calling the service, 26-year-old Dalia Mohammed showed up at his front door. Just 2 weeks after their first acquaintance, Michael filed for divorce from his wife of 7 years and proposed to Dalia with a $20,000 engagement ring.
That's probably not a good idea.
She said yes. It appeared as though the concept of love at first sight wasn't exclusive to fairy tales, and Michael had finally met his princess.
Yeah.
Or so he thought.
Yeah, no idea if that's copyright or not, but I ain't gonna risk it. Okay. That isn't surprising. I have undercover cop.
Hey. We're staying in here, right? Alright, yeah. Okay. I'm trying to get some stuff out the way. Alright. I'm gonna tell you how I'm gonna do it and what exactly is gonna be done. Right?
Murder.
And honestly, you got recommendations. You know what you want, what you know about him. Dude, is he your husband or something? Boyfriend? Your husband? How many have been married? No, for real, because the thing is, you know, after I talked to you today,
gotta get that info.
His phone, garbage. You won't be able to get a hold of it. You know what I'm saying? I just want to make sure that, you know, it's what you want. You sure you want to kill this dude?
Do we really have to?
All right.
You know, it's just, I'd rather be as less, you know, whatever with you.
All right. All right.
This would be the first of a total 15 times that Dalia would look directly into the hidden camera. With the naked eye, she would only see a small hole in the corner of the back seat. Not overly suspect, but certainly unusual, and the fact that she continuously glanced at it throughout this setup proved that she harbored suspicion. But although she had doubts, she appeared to have no hesitation in accepting the risk for the potential reward, which in
Okay, that's a really long link, 1. And 2, if you're suspicious, then you probably shouldn't do it. You know, if you shouldn't hire someone to kill someone if you don't fully trust that person. You shouldn't hire someone to kill someone in general, but like if you do, it's probably a good rule of thumb that you should like trust the person, you know? Yeah. Also, who uses Yahoo anymore? Like, yeah, who uses that anymore? Unless, yeah. Also, apparently you, so. Pretty sure my mother does too.
In this case would have been the brutal murder of her newlywed husband. In order to recite the entire sequence of events that led up to this moment, including each of the highly calculated and equally corrupt decisions that Dalia made, this would need to be a 3-part series. So for the purpose of time management, here's a quick rundown of the most notable moments. On February 2nd, 2009, Mike and Dalia made it official and got married. According to reports, Dalia appeared to be a very loving wife, always embracing her husband with public displays of affection and telling him how much she adored him, even to the point where people around them started to get uncomfortable. Just over a month into their marriage, in the early morning hours of March 12th, Michael's probation officer knocked at the door, with 2 deputies standing beside him. Michael had been convicted in 2001 for a fraud operation. He served 7 months in prison and was rendered 28 years of probation. This was the first time his PO had showed up unannounced, and Michael was informed that
Wait, how many years?
This was the first time his 7 months in prison and was rendered 28 years of probation. This was the first.
That's a lot of probation from fraud. Okay. We're gonna get, like, let's go back a frame. So we have, look at this dude. We're gonna compare him to Guy Fieri. Okay, we have an off-brand, this dude. Yeah, you aren't wrong.
He served 7 months in prison and was rendered 28 years of probation. This was the first time his PO had showed up unannounced, and Michael was informed that multiple calls had come in from an anonymous source, stating that he was selling steroids and ecstasy from the house. They presented him with a warrant and began to search the premises. If the allegation were proven to be true, Michael could have been sent back to prison for over 10 years. Luckily for him, no illegal substances were found. The next weekend, Dalia suggested a spur-of-the-moment romantic getaway in Palm Beach, and the couple stayed at a luxury hotel that Saturday night. But on the Sunday morning, police were waiting for them in the parking lot, stating they received an anonymous call that he was dealing drugs out of his car. They searched the vehicle, but once again found nothing. 2 weeks later, they went out to dinner, and on their way back...
That's all a little sus, you know? Something fishy is going on.
To the car, police were waiting for them once more in the parking lot, only this time they found a small bag of cocaine stashed inside a cigarette pack. Michael immediately broke down in tears, claiming that he had been set up and knew nothing about the drugs. Incredibly, the police believed him and decided not to make an arrest. They later testified that the first reason was due to the conspicuous and unusual hiding place for the cocaine. The second reason was their suspicions of his wife Dalia, who appeared emotionless as her husband was having a nervous breakdown. On the ride home, as Dalia was driving, Michael realized that
he kind of looks like he's high right now, gonna be honest. Also, I have noticed that you've been finding a lot of Florida man stories.
she was the only one who knew where they were going for dinner, and was the only person who had access to the car. So he asked her point blank if she had any
Conspiracy? I think not. Coincidence, that's the word. Okay, guys, we're gonna ignore that. The word is conspiracy. No. I'm messing up words all over the place.
anything to do with it, and the accusation wasn't taken well. She put the pedal to the floor and got up to 190 on the freeway, all the while screaming at the top of her lungs, claiming to be astonished that he could even accuse her of such a thing. Out of fear of his life, Michael apologized and said that he didn't mean it. The next morning, Dalia was aware that Michael's suspicions had arisen, and knew she had to divert his attention somehow. So just after making him breakfast, she gave him the incredibly exciting yet completely fictitious news that she was pregnant. Michael was ecstatic. They went out and
There are so many red flags here. So many. Just so many.
Bought baby books, and the dubious circumstances that occurred the night before appeared to have been forgotten. That very same day, Dalia contacted her ex-lover, Mike Stanley, a guy she had already used for money and dumped on 3 separate occasions beforehand, yet managed to reel him back in with a single text. After reuniting, Dalia hatched an extravagant plan. Mike would pose as a lawyer, contact Michael over the phone, and give him the misleading legal advice that in order for him to get off probation, he would need to move his house solely into his wife's name. Astonishingly enough, without doing his own research, Michael decided to take the advice from the mysterious caller at face value, and he...
Okay, so 1, why wouldn't you do research? 2, why wouldn't you ask your probation officer first, even if you had like briefly thought about it? You don't actually move the house. When you sign off on a house, the person who signs off on it actually owns it. What he just did is that he signed it over to his wife. And and it's also confusing how he also didn't talk to a lawyer about it at all. Everyone here that follows me is Galaxy Brain. We're the Galaxy Brain Club. I'm announcing it.
He and his supposedly pregnant wife then drove to the title company to transfer ownership. Mike Stanley was then cut off without any explanation or even a farewell, and Dalia then turned to another ex-lover, Mohammed Shihadeh, who she must have thought was a more appropriate option for her next scheme. To cut a long story short, she asked Mohammed to hire a hitman to kill her husband. He neither accepted nor rejected the proposal, but instead of driving to work after their meeting, he drove to the Boynton Police Department to inform them of Dalia's intentions. The police then inserted...
That was Galaxy Brain. Oh, well, that's one way to do it. I, for one, prefer the art of eating just like random scraps of metal like throughout the days, because like eating too much iron at once is a bad idea. So like, of course, I just carry around like a box of like magnets and stuff, because I think those have iron in it or something, and just eat them. I like the way they clack around in my stomach, which for legal reasons is a joke, and no one should take that seriously, or take my advice seriously.
Inserted a hidden camera into the backseat of Mohammed's vehicle and had him arrange a second rendezvous with Dalia to get definitive proof of her intentions. They got it. She was recorded on film handing over a photo of Michael, a photo of the house, and a $3,000 down payment for the assassination. The authorities had more than enough evidence to arrest Dalia immediately, but to further capture her intent and to really make the charges stick, they set up a second meeting with a supposed hitman, who is actually an undercover narcotics officer. And that brings us back to the very first moment Dalia looked directly into the hidden camera.
I know I got a picture. I looked at a picture of the house or whatever.
How soon can we get everything going?
Well, it's up to you.
I mean, I need it done like this week, but like my understanding of everything was that like, you know, I was going to give you what I gave you, and then that was everything. Until after the fact. And then after the fact, I guess you were going to come and, like, find me or whatever. I mean, I'm good for it. Like, it's not like I don't have it or anything. I mean, I know not.
Randomly saying that you're good for it kind of makes you seem like you're not good for it. You know? Just saying.
To fuck around with you, you know certain things, whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you obviously know where I'm at.
Obviously.
The thing about self-destruction is that it happens all the time, and it's most often a very difficult thing to witness, as it can be the casual sequence of uncontrollable circumstances.
I'm not sure she never got to the part where she had to, like, pay the full amount, because, you know, she's talking to an undercover police officer right now. And she paid, like, I think he said it was a $30,000 down payment. So she probably was willing to pay. I'm just making fun of the way she, like, decides to word things. Because, like, it kind of gives off that she's a little nervous to, like, be hiring someone to kill her husband, but again, it also might be because she's suspicious that there's a camera, because, like, she looks at exactly where the camera is. That's cool. Undercover work must be, like, so hard, yes. Like, at the same time, though. Because you might accidentally, like, legitimately connect with people and, like, form friendships, and then have to basically stab them in the back. It must be hard. Oh.
Such as adversity, tragedy, or misfortune. Yet when a person's self-destruction occurs solely due to their own greed and corruption, it becomes far less difficult and a lot more fascinating to behold.
It's also really funny.
But I gotta do my homework, you know? I gotta, know exactly where the place is and how to
Gotta
get out of
pass
there,
this
how to get in
class.
and out, you understand what the neighbors want. I gotta call the cops, report a shooting to see how fast they get to that location. There's a lot of stuff I gotta do. That's gonna cost me a lot of money.
So if we go ahead and we do it, like, at the house, like, how soon could you do it? And
I could do it Wednesday morning. It's gonna be like I break into the house, didn't think it was gonna be home because everybody works.
It's like they're setting up an appointment to, like, meet up to, like, for play day or something. Like, hey, how soon can you come over and do stuff? And, like, yeah.
For daytime.
Right.
If he's at work, boom, he's not at work, then, he gets two in the head. That's it, I take a couple things with me, break a couple windows, make it look like a robbery that went bad, it's all over. I'm gone out of there. We're just going to be asking you questions, although they know it's going to be obvious what it is, and they already know, but, they're going to ask questions, because that's how they got to do it. But I don't know how well you handle pressure. You understand? I don't know, because I don't want...
No, I'm not going to, I'm a lot tougher than what I look. I know you see me and you're like, oh, what a cute little girl, whatever. But I'm not.
You are. You're extremely beautiful.
Thank you, but, I just need to make sure everything's going to take care of.
Between now and when it's done, you're not going to have an option to change your mind. Even if you change your mind, you're not talking to them.
There's no changing, there's no, like, I'm determined already. I'm positive, like, 5,000% sure, like, around 6:30, 7 o'clock.
Now that is math right there. She is 5,000% sure. That's like 5,000. And I'm also 5,000% sure that she's probably going to be convicted of doing this. Like, yeah.
He always walks the dog in the morning.
Okay.
He walks the dog across, like, over where the lake is, and our door is always unlocked.
I'll be in the house by 6:30 Wednesday morning. 6 o'clock. All right.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, and I guess...
Thank you so much. At work. Like... Yeah. Like, that's just something people say to, like, in normal conversations, and she just used it when finishing up a meeting with a quote-unquote hitman. People are crazy.
You'll hear from me.
I'll hear from you.
All right?
All right, thanks a lot.
Okay.
Bye.
Dahlia got out of the car and drove away, believing her husband would be murdered just 2 days later. She followed orders and went to the gym at 5:43 a.m. on Wednesday morning.
I'm sorry, I didn't read that as LA Fitness, even with that, like, little bar thing down here. I just read it as La Fitness. And, yeah. That's all.
Police then knocked on the door and gave Michael the unfortunate news of his wife's intentions before driving him to the police station. Dalia was called back to the house by a sergeant 1 hour later. Everything about the crime scene was fake, except for the news camera which captured the entire incident.
I don't know about you guys, but if my significant other had died, I'd be like running towards them and like fighting anyone in my path. She does not seem like say even if this was like real and like she didn't hire someone to kill her husband, like this is sus.
Calm down. I'm gonna need you to go with these detectives, okay? Does he have enemies? Is there anyone that would want to hurt him? Okay, who would want to hurt him? Witnesses said they saw a black male running from me. I can't let you see him, ma'am. Ma'am, I cannot do this right now. Ma'am, I can't do it. Detective Yopi, I need you to take her to the station. I can't. Ma'am, go with these detectives. If you want to help your husband, okay? If you want to help your husband, you need to go to the station with these gentlemen and tell us everything you know about who he knows, who he's connected to. Don't worry, we've already taken care of your dogs with animal control for right now. Everything's under control. And we'll take care of everything else, okay? Thank you, guys.
I also would beg to bring any animals I had, like dogs. If I'm going somewhere, they come in with me. Like, I don't care. I will personally fight people and steal a car to get my animals in there with me.
Guys.
Protocol that we have to do with this with your wife. We got to advise you of your rights, so you know. Okay? If you don't understand any of them, you just tell me, and I'll stop and repeat. And first of all, let me just tell you, I'm sorry for your loss.
I just want to see my husband, please.
All right.
I love my husband. I love you too.
No, you don't want to see him.
I just want to see him.
Believe me, you don't. Could you listen, please?
I'm willing to bet that her husband just doesn't want to see her.
This is something, because we're going to videotape, that I need you to sign also. It gives us the right to videotape it. You want to read that?
Also, yeah, oh yeah, so for those of you that don't know, and I know there might be someone of you that like don't, I think Miranda rights are basically like anything you say can and will be used against you, like you have right to counsel and all that random stuff, all that fun stuff, you know?
I don't want to be videotaped.
Well, you're being videotaped. That's all part of it.
I also don't like being videotaped. Which is ironic, but...
Whose number is that?
That's your home number. Okay. Listen, is there anybody that you know that you think would want to kill your husband?
My husband's on probation.
For what?
Dalia recounts Michael's entire criminal history in vivid detail, gives multiple reasons as to why someone would want him dead, and even names a potential suspect, who in reality had nothing to do with the situation, and was only a former business associate.
People weren't happy that he was getting off probation because it's a lot of money he's got to pay back.
Well, when you say people, who are you talking about? People that were involved with him before, or?
Just a little bit of everything. This was supposed to be something, when he got off probation, it was supposed to be between us. And he went and he told, friends of his, he told, certain people, and everyone kind of talks, and he's constantly running into a lot of the guys that he was on probation with. Like a couple days ago, we ran into someone, and that was...
And that is relevant.
I mean, and the guy comes up to us, and he's like with organized crime. It seems like a lot of the guys from Boca are starting to move up here, and we're constantly running into, a lot of the guys that he knows and things like that. So it was a lot of money. It was $191,000 that he had to pay back. So I know certain names, you know what I mean, and I know certain families, they were on the news, like the guys that all just went away.
Mm-hmm. What nationality are you? Spanish?
My mom's from Peru and my dad's from Egypt.
Wow.
Yeah. I want to tell you everything, the whole, so that way
Please
you
do.
guys kind of know
Yeah,
what's going on.
I do. I want to know.
So that's what happened with that. So he didn't know how to tell everybody what was going on with everything.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if you know, he was shot. He was shot twice, and I want you to know all this.
Do you know this?
Did they tell you out there?
Not exactly. I mean, they told me he was shot. When I was at the gym, I got a phone call. I didn't hear my phone ring, and I called back, and they told me just to please come, that something happened at my house.
Yeah, he would, evidently your husband answered the door, and they took him back upstairs, and in your
We
bedroom.
have cameras, though. Why would he answer the door?
I don't
Because he
know.
doesn't answer for anybody he doesn't know.
I have
and
no-
I mean, the only person, like his probation officer, is like the only, you know what
I
I
have
mean?
no idea.
He would not answer the door. We have cameras, like at our house.
Maybe he knows this person. I didn't know you
We
had
have-
cameras,
we have-
because when we got there, some of your neighbors heard the commotion.
We have cameras. The front door has cameras.
Oh,
and
that's
the back
great.
door has cameras.
Then-
but they don't record.
And they don't record.
Nobody knows, but they don't. We told
I'm sorry, what about gingers being alcoholics? How does that correlate? I would like to know how that correlates. And this lady is just rambling. Rambling about cameras. But the whole word is ginger, which is a spice. That's the thing. It is not. But let's see. Ginger snaps are more of a brown though. I have no idea. Let's Google this. Oh. Oh. It's because the popular American TV show featured a character named Ginger Grants, who had red hair and pale skin. Ginger quickly became enormously popular among Americans, and people began calling redheads gingers because they looked similar to Ginger from the show. Ooh. We are not inciting violence among the red-haired people.
told everybody they record, but they don't
I do not know, and I'm not going to Google specifically if someone's an alcoholic.
record.
Oh, God.
Because he didn't want them to make a hole in the garage.
Right now, I'm going to go out and get in touch with the officers at the scene. I want to see if the house was burglarized.
Okay.
All right, just hang on for a second.
Thank
Don't they sometimes, like, bring the people that own the house to, like, the scene so they can see, like, if anything of theirs is missing, because they would know better if, like, something is gone or not? I think that's how that works. Because, like, they wouldn't know if anything's missing. Yeah.
The lead investigator returns 16 minutes later.
Now, you know that I advised you of your rights, right?
Yes, you have.
Okay. The game's over with. Okay? There's no more games with you and I. Now we're going to get down to serious business. I want to know if you know. Come here. Bring this guy in here. Get over here. Get over here.
Okay, we're gonna play a little game. Is it the husband or the hitman that you tried to hire? Who do we think it is? Yeah. I think it's the hitman. Maybe. Although it'd be a power move to bring in the husband. That'd be hilarious.
They bring in the undercover cop who remains in character, acting like he's been caught, but refuses to allege Dalia's involvement. She happily plays along.
You know who this guy is?
No,
You've never seen him before?
I've never seen him before. Ever.
Do you know her?
Put your head up and look at her.
Put your head up.
I've never seen him.
What were you doing coming out of her house?
I just heard my dog bark.
Get him out of here.
Dalia was able to use her looks to get what she wanted out of life, which of itself isn't necessarily a bad thing. People do what they can to get by, which sometimes means relying on physical appearance, and in some cases they have no other option. Yet the majority of those who navigate life in this manner do so without intentionally hurting anyone. Dalia went out of her way to not only hurt, but to literally slaughter the person whom she had tricked into falling in love with her, and for no other reason than monetary gain. She hadn't come from a broken home, nor was she a battered wife. There were no mitigating circumstances whatsoever, only the cold-blooded pursuit to get what she wanted, how she...
Do you mean how the entrance bar works? As in, like, how to become a lawyer? Question mark? Or either that, or you're talking about how you figured out how to enter a bar. Either one.
Hey, upstairs. Upstairs. Come on, you drink.
Okay.
she wanted, impartial to the suffering she would cause as a result. In the next moments, her karmic debt will have finally caught up, and for perhaps the first time in her adult life, neither sex appeal nor her fabricated charm will be enough to save her from the consequences of her actions.
He's going into her.
You're going to jail today for solicitation of murder. You're under arrest. That's an undercover police officer.
Soliciting.
We filmed everything that you did, recorded everything that you did.
Uh-huh.
You're going to jail for solicitation of first-degree murder on your husband.
I didn't do anything.
Did you hear what I just told you?
I heard what you said, but I didn't do
Everything,
anything.
listen to me. Everything has been recorded. You were photographed in the convertible when you sat in his car in the front of CVS.
She's sad because she got caught. There is no other reason that she's sad. She's just sad because she got caught. And she knows it's all falling apart. So she's just gripping at anything. Imagine the jail is fun. Just saying. Just saying. Okay, I hear my dogs outside my door, so I might bring one of them in. I'll be back, chat. I'm gonna keep playing this because I have Bluetooth headphones, slight flex, and yeah.
Of first-degree murder on your husband. Your husband is well.
Okay, my dogs are now in my room. And my phone's off. Would you guys like me to turn on a face cam for like a split second while and just show off my dogs? You guys want to see them? I'm taking that as a yes. Hold on one second. Hold on 1 second while I edit a few things. You guys can see stuff? Question mark? Good. Yes. So, this is the gremlin that is Tim. Oh, hi. He is the best. Oh, hi. This is Cat. Come here. Can you see her? Oh. Yeah, this is Cat. You can tell they don't often get to do this. Hi. I know. Hi. And the last one is Kit. Kit, come here. Come here. Oh, they're chaotic now. So yeah, yeah, they're just gonna hang out with me while I stream. I don't even know. Yeah, they're just gonna hang out. You guys should be cool with that. Okay, back to stuff.
You think I made that up? You think I made that up? It's exactly what's going to happen. I'm talking with you. When I leave this room, no other officer will ever talk to you again. The next time we see you is when you're in trial. Now, you can make it right here, or you're going to trial, and you're going to do life in prison. You want to cooperate with us, whatever you want to do. It's over and done once I walk out. I'm not coming back in to talk to you. And no one else is either. What do you want to do before I leave here? Because the next officer comes here, going to handcuff you and take you to the jail.
You've said that a couple times. Maybe
No, he doesn't want to see
your
you.
friend just looks like a lot of people.
You don't want to see it. I'm leaving now. We don't have an officer coming here and cuff this. The person.
I don't know what's
old
going on,
person
please.
Got it.
We'll go ahead and arrest her for solicitation first degree murder.
Can you folks stand up?
Stand up, please.
Dalia is then granted her fraudulent wish and comes face to face with her husband.
Oh my God.
He's alive.
Come here, please. Come here.
Get
Mike, come here.
wrecked.
Come here, please. Come here.
Can't fix it.
Why not? I didn't do anything
Get
to you. Mike, come here, please.
Get wrecked, lady. You just got caught. Red-handed.
Come here.
Okay. Thank you.
Although, like, non-jokingly, I do feel really bad for the husband having to find out all that stuff. You know?
We'll take her back to booking, please.
Dalia was given roughly 15 minutes in her cell to calm down and have reality sink in. She was then brought back to the interrogation room, where two less confrontational detectives would pursue a confession. They were hoping the immediate switch from hostility to patience would influence her compliance.
Have you been advised of your rights before?
Yeah, let's get F's in chat for
Your
the
Miranda
husband.
rights?
No, but I wanted to make a phone call.
Okay, earlier this morning, Sergeant Sheridan read you your rights from that card, right? And you understood your Miranda rights, your Fifth Amendment rights?
Yeah, but I wanted to make a phone
Yeah. She just got caught.
Okay, so the phone call, we will let you do that later. Not right now, though.
But while I'm still here,
Yeah, later on we will. Okay? You want to,
Did you understand your rights or no? You didn't understand them?
I wasn't really paying attention when he went over.
Okay.
I just said yes to everything.
Okay, what I'll do is I'll go ahead and read them again, okay? And if you have any questions, just go ahead and ask me and I'll explain them to you, okay?
okay, you understand your Fifth Amendment rights now? All of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I go to the regular?
Hey, at yeast she tried. Get it? You make yeast. You make bread with yeast. Get it? I'm funny.
restroom, please, before we start? Is that okay?
Is it emergency?
I didn't feel comfortable going in the other one. I'm sorry. I
No
won't be
problem.
long.
No problem.
You mind if I call you Dalia?
Yeah, please.
Okay.
Rude.
Alright. Do you understand what happened today? What's going on here?
A little.
Okay.
Now, slowly, I'm understanding a little bit better.
What's your understanding?
I was told
She
one thing,
understands.
and now it's like slowly, like all these.
You didn't tell one thing. You've told an entire string of things, and now you're just getting caught. Like, that's all that is. You dug your own grave.
These things are, I don't really know what happened.
Do you know that you are arrested today?
Yeah,
Being
that's
arrested.
him in the background. He barks.
That part I understood.
Okay. Do you know what for?
Not really,
You
no.
don't know the charge?
No, nobody said anything to
Okay,
me.
go ahead and tell her the charge, Alex.
Okay. You're being arrested for soliciting to commit murder. Okay, which that means is you attempted to hire someone to kill somebody else, meaning your husband. Okay? And that's why you're here and that's what you're getting charged with.
Okay, no.
You don't understand or?
No, I never did that.
Okay, but that's what you're being charged with,
Okay.
and we have plenty of evidence to back it up. Okay? So, with your rights in mind, we want to give you an opportunity to do some soul searching maybe, and maybe get a lot off your chest and tell us the truth. That's what we want to hear.
The evidence against her was overwhelming, hence the lack of interrogation techniques being initiated. The detectives feel that this
Yeah, they know.
is an open
They
and
know. Because it is an open and shut case. She was caught in not really 4K, but like, she was still caught on video.
shut case, and whether the suspect chooses to confess at this moment or not, they believe the eventual outcome will be the same.
I mean, this has been worked for a couple of days now. It's not just the first day we're doing this, reference to this case. And we have a lot of information to support our charge. It's just not a quick little thing. So, you know, we don't know when you're lying to us and all that. We just want to hear the truth. I mean, it's done. It's over with now, you know, and this is your opportunity to tell us the truth. That's all we want to hear, and we know the truth. So, I know it's hard to commit to that, but now's your time, you know. Do you have anything to say about this?
I'm going to talk to my husband.
Okay, well, you can't talk to your husband. He's not here right now.
Ask for a lawyer. Just like, ask for a lawyer. You've already pretty much been caught. Just get a lawyer.
Let him go home. He's taking care of the house and the dogs, so.
The good thing about this whole thing is that nobody got killed. The tragedy was prevented today. You could look at it that way, you know? That's simple.
A big tragedy. I mean, someone's life, so Everything's on tape, Dalia. There's no denying it. You know? Everything's on tape. And it's not a bluff, so.
You gotta understand this, okay? Dalia, listen to me for a second,
He didn't
okay?
do anything.
Listen to me for a second, okay? This is on our first day, okay? It's not definitely not our second day, all right? This is an ongoing investigation, all right? Not only do we have your videotape, we have every conversation that you've had leading to this point, all right? So for you to sit here and deny that you haven't done anything, it's not going to help. Every little thing that you've done since this started, we've been involved in it. Do you understand that? I mean, I'm just telling you the truth. That's the truth, all right? Well,
You don't get
unfortunately,
to.
you're not going home, okay? You're looking at some serious charges here. Do you understand that you made the attempt to hire somebody to kill your husband? That's how serious this is. Okay, you can sit here and shake your head and deny it, but
Then
I'm
pretend
going to tell you right
it's
now,
fair.
all right, when the jury and the judge sees that videotape of you
Yeah, not a word that has come out of her mouth has been the truth. Like, not a word of it.
having this conversation, making a deal, all right? That's how far you went, all right? It wasn't it. It's not about denying it wasn't me, I didn't do anything, because the video, the audio, it's not going to lie, all right? And all the evidence that we have collected throughout this investigation.
You sound like a fool right now denying this. Because, like my partner just
Right.
said, everything's on tape. Video and audio.
I just want to go home.
I know, but you're not going home, you see? You're being arrested, so you're not going home.
That's what I said.
So what do I have to do to go home? I'd like to go home.
I know, but you can't. It's impossible. You're going to the Palm Beach County Jail after this. You can't go home. You're being arrested. This is not a game. In your mind, it might be a little game, but this is very, very serious. Murder? Are you kidding me?
Dahlia refuses to give any sort of acknowledgement whatsoever, even after being confronted with the hidden camera footage. She was then taken to the Palm Beach Detention
Get
Center,
wrecked.
professing her innocence the entire way. When she finally got to jail, she accepted the offer to make a phone call. Now, try and imagine yourself in her position. Now think of the absolute last person on planet Earth that you would call at that moment.
Hello?
She didn't.
Yeah, what's up?
Call a lawyer. Call a lawyer. It isn't that hard. Ask someone to get you a lawyer and then discuss your legal options. Because although she's definitely going to be convicted, she decided to call her husband. You know, the one that she just tried to kill. And that he knows she tried to kill him. Yeah, even though, like, she definitely is going to be convicted, they can try and at least, like, reduce the sentence.
Hey, Mike, can you please come here?
Hey, listen, I don't want to fight with you. Honestly, I can't help you.
Good for him.
Don't you understand what just happened?
What they're saying is not true.
How is that possible?
Like, I'm sitting here. It's not true. It's not possible. You wouldn't even give me 2 minutes to talk to you, but it's not possible. What they're
Hey.
saying is not true.
How in the hell?
What she's saying is not true. But no one's complaining about that.
Did I hear it and see it?
Like, I heard what you heard. It's not true. I heard what you heard, and I saw what you saw. Everything they showed you, they showed me.
And how is it not? How are you telling me that? That
I
it's
am
not
giving you my word that it's not.
She's taking the gaslight part of gaslight gatekeep girl boss way too far. You know?
True.
What Dahlia is doing here is known as gaslighting, a textbook form of manipulation
Guys.
used by psychopaths, sociopaths, and all those with narcissistic personality disorder. She is trying to cultivate doubt into Michael's mind by making him question his own perceptions. She does this by using persistent denial and misdirection to try and destabilize his thought process. Yet the hole that Dahlia had dug for herself on this occasion seems a little bit too deep for her device to have any sort of effect.
What do you? Dad, I couldn't help you if I wanted to.
Like, please, I need an attorney. Can you please help me?
Surprisingly, no.
That's not true.
Your brother was here, and I spoke to him, and he's going to go talk to your mom. I called them for you already, right?
This is not true.
Dalia, sure. Look, how do you explain what I saw and heard?
Like, I am limited on my phone call. You know more than anybody.
You know, it doesn't make a very strong argument when someone's only argument is to repeat what they've said over and over again. You know? Doesn't make for a good argument.
It's not true. Just give me time so I can talk to you.
What did it say? I saw it. I heard it.
I saw what you saw and I heard what you heard.
Okay, what the f***? You said you wanted to have me killed. I heard that.
It's not true. That is not
How is
true.
it not true?
How can you believe that?
I heard your voice.
It's obviously video edited, you know, CGI. Which also for legal reasons is a joke. But like, yeah.
How can you believe it?
What is the point? I heard you say it.
It's not. I heard what you heard and it's not.
What did I hear then? I heard you say.
I heard the tape. Okay, I heard the tape and I...
Well, you see, you get someone that's really good at voice imitations and do that. And overlay the audio as best as possible. Either that, you collect audio of a person saying like every word that you could possibly think of, and then just jumble it together. Make sure they do it in a monotone voice though.
I saw pictures and I saw the whole 9 yards. I saw all of it.
So why would you meet a guy in a parking lot? Explain that.
I'm sitting here on the phone. I will tell you.
She obviously was hooking up with him. Although that wouldn't surprise me if she said that in response to that. It would have been hilarious. That would have been haha funny.
You when I see you in person, please.
I can't come there anyway. I'm not allowed there.
That's not true. Who said that? They tell you that on purpose. That's not true.
I don't know what you could tell me. Even if, let's pretend, I said, oh, it's all better. I can't, they're charging your ass. Don't you get it?
Like, I didn't do anything.
She's delusional.
I don't know what to say to you. I can't help you. It's out of my hands.
You're not even trying.
What am I supposed to do?
You're supposed to get me an attorney, please, so I can talk to you.
If you wanted an attorney, use your phone call for an attorney or request one. They will give you an attorney if you ask for one. Exactly.
I saw you with this guy in the truck or whatever the f*** it was. I saw it. I heard your
censor
voice
the word.
clearly. What?
Censor the audio, but not the text.
I don't understand.
I did not say those things. Period.
So how did they get your voice on that tape recorder?
Like, I'm limited with my time, please.
You gotta be kidding me, man. Dalia, I heard you say that shit.
Like,
Okay?
I'm telling you right now, okay?
You can't fix it. How are you going to tell me that you didn't say it, you didn't do it? When I saw you say it and I saw you do it.
Do you have any idea how I was when they told me what supposedly happened to you, how I got and how I was and how everything?
You didn't do anything. That's the thing. You also tried to throw another person under the bus. So.
Can you meet me in person so I can talk to you?
No.
Don't do it. Good.
Why?
Why should I?
Because
Exactly.
You know me. I never, ever, 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 ever in my wildest...
To be honest, at that point, I'd just hang up the phone. You know? The conversation is getting nowhere. I just hang up. I don't care. it's person tried to kill me, just hang up. You know?
Didn't ever want that for you, ever.
Well, you said it, Dalia. You
No, I
hired a
did
guy.
not. No, I did not say anything. Period. I didn't say anything.
I don't know how
Your
you're going
ears
to
are
actually have the
deceiving
nerve
you.
to sit here and lie to me now. I can't help you even if I wanted to. Do you get
The
it?
Why don't you want
audacity.
to?
Get out of my f***ing head.
You're not even trying. It's different if you're trying. You're not even trying.
What could I possibly do for you? I don't get it. What could I do?
You're not even trying.
Trying
Exactly.
what? I'm sitting here like a dumbass.
Please. Okay, they're getting ready to like take me again.
Dalia, I'm going to give you some advice, and you need to listen. You're going to be lying around in there for a little while, a couple days. You need to just try and relax and just go with it. And keep to yourself and don't say a lot.
Like, I love you. Don't do this to me. I'm sitting here. Everybody treated me awful, sir. I didn't do anything to you.
They're treating you badly because you treated your husband badly.
You know me. Everyone here is being awful to me.
I can't help you. There's nothing I can do to help you. Know what I'll do? You know what I'll do for you? Seriously?
What?
You sign my house back over to me. I'll help your mom immensely. Give me my house back.
Yes, get his
That's
house
it.
back.
That's it, what?
I'll have the papers sent over to you somehow. You'll sign them over to me, and then I will help your mother. Okay?
I'm not signing anything.
I know you wouldn't sign anything. I knew that wasn't going to happen. So I can't help you. Okay?
That's what you're thinking about. I'm sitting here rotting and you're thinking about
Now
our
you
house.
start having me killed. I just offered to help you, and again, you had the balls to say no to me. You just basically said F you to me, which is hilarious considering your situation and considering what the f just happened today.
Facts. If she really wanted to get out of there, she would have done what... Yeah. Probably. I wouldn't put it past her.
Alright?
The gun getting fingerprinted now.
Dalia called her mother soon after, who was already informed of the situation by Michael and appeared to be a little bit more understanding over the whole situation.
Hello? Mom, I'm in jail.
I know, Dalia. I know. I find out.
I need you to call
I
Mike
know.
in New York.
Okay, who do you want me to call? What is it?
I need you to call Mike in New York, please.
I called already and I called that. Everybody knows. What is it you want me to do? Where are you exactly?
I'm in the county jail. I need you to call. What did Mike say? Is he coming?
Everybody's coming, Dalia. We're going to go ahead and get your lawyers, okay? Don't worry. Where are you? Are you in Gun Club?
Yes, I'm here, Mom. Mike did this to me.
Okay, Dalia.
You did this to yourself. You're just mad that you got caught.
I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything.
You didn't. I know you didn't. I know you didn't. Where are you? You in Gun Club?
Yes, I'm here in Gun Club. And I heard Mike is at the house. I want him out of my house.
Okay, well, right now we're going to need to have a lawyer first,
It's my
okay?
house. The title's in my name.
Title's in your name because you were shady enough to get him to sign it over to you. It's the only reason.
All right. Okay, don't worry about that right now.
Dalia
Yeah, he paid for the house. He was just stupid enough not to, like, check with anyone whether it was a good idea to sign it over. And she saw someone vulnerable enough to take from.
spent 20 months in jail before standing trial in
Hey,
April
get
2011. Her defense was bizarre. They claimed Michael Dippolito was a fan of reality TV, and the murder-for-hire plot was a hoax, just so he could get on television.
I'm just having fun with it. Come on, I'm with you.
You having fun with me? Let me ask you something.
Okay, one, his tie is great. Also, that is hilarious. Yeah. 15 minutes of fame. Yeah, exactly. His tie is really nice. I'd wear a tie like that.
Is this fun, Mr. Dippolito?
This sucks.
Okay. Was it...
At least he has enough humor to do this, you know? Like, at least he has, like, something to hold on to joke about, you know? Because everyone knows the best way to cope with things is through humor.
When you got arrested? No. Was it fun when you went through court?
Horrible.
Okay. So, is there anything funny about this proceeding at all, Mr. Dippolito?
Your defense is funny. Does that count?
The questions you're asking me, some of them, yeah.
You don't like them, do you?
Get wrecked.
It's ridiculous. We're not here because of me. I might as well, you might as well put me up next. I mean, what are we doing here?
The verdict came a month later on May 13th. The jury needed just 3 hours of deliberation.
3 hours. That is a really short time to convict someone. Like, really short.
We, the jury, find as follows. As to count 1, we find the defendant guilty of solicitation to commit first-degree murder. If you find the defendant guilty, do you find that there is a firearm included in the solicitation? Yes.
And you and I have spoken previously about you wanting to share some comments with the court as the judge.
Okay, so the part that's scaring me right now is we're only like 36 minutes into this of a 50-minute video. So I'm worried that something's gonna happen within this time. But yeah, her poor mom. Like, families of, like, people that done stuff like this, like, suffer a lot. Yeah, it's making me nervous how the video isn't even close to being done, and we just heard the conviction.
The judge considers the appropriate sentence in this case?
Yes, I do. I have no words to explain why this unfortunate event happened. And I am sorry that it did. I don't support what it happened.
Good on her.
But I know that you have the power in deciding what happens to the next phase of Dalia's life, in showing mercy. In life, we make mistakes. Sometimes we will deserve.
Is she 5,000% sure of that, though? That's the question. That's weird.
A second chance. Dalia's not dangerous.
She's
Your
a
Honor,
danger
I'm
to
asking
people
you,
around her.
I'm begging you, please, to have some mercy to her.
That poor mother.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Where do I begin? Let me just start off by saying, you know,
That poor
when I married my
husband.
wife, I was very much in love with her. And I thought we were doing things that normal married people do. And I was a very good husband. And I provided everything we needed. And, you know, that being said, lo and behold, you know, that wasn't the case. I don't know who these people are talking about, but it's not that girl. You know, and I feel bad. I don't even want to be here. Since this started, I've always put my hand out. Give me my house, let's be done with it. I'll beg the judge to even do whatever. I don't personally gain anything from this. You know, the difference between me and I guess what's going on here.
Yeah, everyone, let's get some F's in chat. F's in chat for the dude. Here. There we go.
You know, I went to prison. You know how I got there? I said I did it. Yeah, I did it. Let's get this over with and handle it.
Yeah, at least he admits to his mistakes. You know? Like, he at least admits that he's done stuff. She just doesn't. Yeah. She's annoying. I'm just gonna put that blanket statement out there.
You know, that hasn't happened here. I mean, this girl doesn't feel sorry for anything. She still doesn't think she did anything. And believe me, I don't want to get up here and be nasty, but the reality is I sit and listen to this. Even today, we're talking about a retrial? Retrial for what? I mean, what is it we're doing? Who didn't understand what happened here? They still don't want to admit anything happened. Nothing bad happened. It's all good. Let's just all go home and it's fine. I'm not okay. You know, my father died. I was supposed to have been able to travel to see him. I didn't get to see my dad. You know, my dad's dead.
Oh.
And,
that is so sad.
you know, that was part of my plan. Get off probation, go see my family, spend time with my father. If she would have owned it like a normal person and would have owned up to something, I would respect that. But instead, when I get to court, I hear that I want a reality television show. As soon as we walk out here, you know they're filing for an appeal. You know why? Because they think everybody in this room's stupid. That's why. Because we're all stupid, and they're smarter than us. And nobody did anything.
Yeah, this dude is just... Yeah, I feel so bad for him. Just completely. Like, that just sucks.
And God, she's a great girl. You know, when I met her, I thought all those things. I don't want to offend anybody, and believe me, I feel sorry for everybody that's in here crying. But you know what? I got to feel sorry for myself. Nobody's helping me. My mother had a nervous breakdown. I'm like, I'm going to have a nervous breakdown. You know, I just don't know how I'm feeling some days. And it's just not fair. Like I said, and I mean this from my heart, I wish we weren't here. I wish she would have did anything but what she did.
The jury's found you guilty, Ms. Dippolito, of solicitation to commit first-degree murder. So my task is to figure out what an appropriate sentence would be, somewhere between 48 months and 30 years in the Department of Corrections.
But again, that 10 minutes that's left in this video makes me a little nervous. It makes me just a tad bit nervous.
How do I rehabilitate you from what you have done? And I think that's a function of you know, spinning your moral compass. I think your moral compass is askew. I think that it's.
Should I make an emote for all of my dogs for my chat? Should I work on that soon? Would you guys like emotes of my dogs? I might try and figure out how to do that. Yes. New project after this.
Something that it's not like getting a drug addict off drugs or an alcoholic off alcohol, but rehabilitation, I hope that occurs as part of this sentence. A big variable, and the one that's most conspicuous, is punishment. You impose a sentence to punish bad behavior, criminal behavior, and that's going to be a large component of this sentence. And also a valid factor in imposing a sentence is retribution. And retribution is giving society the vent, the outlet, the sense of that person got what he or she had coming. So I consider those factors.
This judge is giving off I'm not mad, just disappointed vibes. And I think that's the right kind of vibes to get from a judge. I feel like that is probably what you'd want.
And try to figure out what weighs most in tailoring a sentence for you. And it has to do with the facts of the case. And
yes.
It has to do with who you are and what you were thinking. And here's the way I see it. I think that a lot of it is what were your motivations? What were you doing? What were you thinking when that was going on? And I just come to the most obvious conclusion that you were motivated by greed, by avarice. There's no evidence that you were being beaten and you were defending yourself, that you were a battered wife, that you were an alcoholic, that you were the victim of child abuse, that you were somehow acting in defense of yourself, even under a misguided notion. There's none of that here. All of your conduct was just for...
There's a Tim in Undertale? Does that answer your question? Wait, I gotta... Oh yeah, he's definitely named... I'll show you guys pics. So, this is Tim the Enchanter from Monty Python and the Holy Grail, which is the absolute great... There is a Funko Pop. Guys, There is a Funko Pop. But yeah, it's a great movie. Now I'm gonna search up this whole Tim from Undertale. Oh, that one. That's Temmie, though. Not Tim. Hem. Yeah. But yeah, Monty Python and the Holy Grail, 10 out of 10 movie. No. Have fun.
For self-indulgence, and just trying to take every bit of money that you could get a hold of so that you could go on and live this fast life.
Thanks, I'll do my best.
As early as March, you began this relentless campaign to get rid of your husband. First, you're thinking, well, I'll just get him sent off to prison and that would be good enough. You used guile and sophistry to dupe others into your web of deception. You were the puppet master that was pulling all the strings. You weren't acting at the direction of somebody else.
Is amazing.
You weren't under the influence of somebody else. You were the one calling the shots. And you were engaged in a course of conduct not over some momentary lapse of good judgment. This wasn't like, I ran a red light, I shouldn't have done that. Or, oh, what was I thinking? I had the gun in my...
She was 5,000% sure. Not like 200 or 100, 5,000% sure. Like, yeah, it's crazy.
My hand and I shot it because I was angry. It was weeks and months that you continued with these different schemes to try to rid yourself of your husband that was just something out of a novel. And it was horrible to watch it unfold as the trial testimony came out. It was pure evil. After those attempts to have your husband taken out of the picture by way of sending him back to prison for a long period of time, and when you learned that it wasn't good enough to have the house in your name, that if you wanted to sell the house, you were still going to need his signature, I think that's when it started to turn to even more sinister behavior. Mr. Salnick indicates that, being remorseful or saying I'm sorry really doesn't mean anything. And I disagree. I think, even today, Mr. Dippolito, still your husband, I think that I'm sorry, it's my fault, I did it, would have gone a long way.
Yeah, because, then she'd be admitting it, and, that'd make it at least a tad bit better, because the person, did it wrong, something wrong, and was, at least a tad bit apologetic about it. But, there's still the same thing of, I'd rather have a real apology as opposed to a fake one. Also, quick thought is, they're still married. I don't know about you guys, but if my significant other tried to kill me, I'd probably divorce them immediately. Yeah, I don't think a marriage would survive after that.
Not only for his healing, but it would have perhaps suited your own purpose. But I haven't heard anything. I haven't heard an ounce of remorse. The opposite of that. When confronted with the obvious facts, the most powerful testimony as to who you are is when you were in the police station and your husband walked by and looked in and you were begging him, tell him this is all wrong, tell him this is all wrong. And then later on the telephone, you were saying, he was confronting you with the evidence. I saw the tape.
Yeah, he's definitely giving off parental, I'm not mad, just disappointed vibes. Yeah.
I saw the videotape of you trying to have me killed. And you just cold-bloodedly said to him, I saw what you saw, and I'm telling you that's not true. And it was astonishing.
She said that a lot, actually.
The cold-blooded denial that you're willing to go to try to avoid the obvious. You have a certain facet of who you are with your mom, your sister, your brother, and they see the good in you, as siblings and parents should. But who you are when no one's looking, other than a camera in a police car, is quite different. And I think that peers deeply into your soul and speaks volumes of the way you were presenting this, and it was quite chilling to witness that. Based upon those factors, then, Ms. Dippolito, I'll accept the verdict of the jury. I'll find you guilty. I'll adjudicate you guilty.
It's like wording.
And I'm sentencing you to 20 years in the Department of Corrections.
Dalia's first encounter with retribution was a big one, yet it didn't last long. The sentence was thrown out on a technicality 1 month later, and she was able to remain under house arrest for 6 years awaiting her next trial. Her second trial began in 2016.
Dalia Dippolito takes the stand with an unusual defense.
It was thrown out? Guys, if you ever become a lawyer, make sure you do all the paperwork correctly. Please, because then this stuff doesn't happen. Because, like, that is...
Dalia says it was all part of a plan she hatched with her then-husband, Michael Dippolito, and former lover, Mohammed Shahadi, to get famous. Her now ex-husband, Mike Dippolito, says he couldn't wait to see what she'd say in court.
Let me know when she's going. I'll be sitting in the back with popcorn. I'd love to see this.
In an
We got the ex-husband part. He divorced her. That's great.
Exclusive pretrial interview with 2020 this past December, Dippolito said she's just misunderstood.
Who is Dalia Dippolito?
Understand.
Hashtag not like other girls.
Sweet, and compassionate.
Manipulative?
Sure.
Conniving? I got more than 3. Malicious?
Okay, I'm sorry. At the word conniving, I immediately thought of Monty Python and the Holy Grail and that scene where the French dudes are insulting people and calling them conniving kniggets. And yeah. It's great.
Enticed, and entrapped.
Her attorney, Brian Claypool, says Dalia is the innocent victim of a fame-hungry police department.
What the police department did is they found out she's an attractive woman. In their minds, they're like ching, ching, ching. This is a perfect skit. There's no question about it that the Boynton Beach Police Department was dead set on manufacturing a crime here.
How damaging are these tapes to your client?
They are damaging because people have formed opinions.
Our job in the second trial is to provide the proper context for the jury to see that this is not really what it looks like.
Claypool claims she only kept up the act because Mohammed threatened her with a gun.
He threatened to hurt me and to hurt my family.
Did you believe he would?
Absolutely, yes.
So she was threatened to act out a...
If she was threatened, why'd she make that giant down payment? Like, earlier than when she could have possibly met this dude. Like, nothing's adding up.
Hoax on a videotape? I mean, do you understand how ridiculous that sounds to a lot of people watching this?
Yeah, that's not ridiculous. You've got a 6'2",
it is
230-pound man with a gun.
Saying you will do this
Absolutely.
YouTube hoax or else?
Right.
5,000% sure, not 100%.
This was the defense of the first time, and it still didn't go so well. So what makes them think that it's gonna work again?
Sure, not 1,000% sure, but 5,000% sure.
Yo, it
How
brought
do you
back.
explain that?
I look at that video and I see somebody who's struggling with whether she's really sure.
She's struggling? What?
Why? Well,
how is she struggling?
That interviewer is even trying to, like, process the stupidity of this all. Like, you saw that little laugh. That was hilarious.
If she's 5,000% sure.
Well, you might find that humorous, but when I hear people say
It's
they're
'cause
sure,
it's hilarious.
I'm 110% sure.
Why didn't she just tell police her version of what happened?
I've asked her that question too. Oh, yeah, everybody. Hey, Sergeant. This was just a YouTube thing we were putting together. She was in a...
Nice way of throwing back the question and not actually answering it. It's almost as if they thought it up at like 5 a.m., like driving by, and was like, yeah, that'll work.
State of shock.
I couldn't react. I just completely froze. I wanted to get out of there and I felt just paralyzed. The tape was, it was a show, it was a tape. That was the purpose of it.
You were acting in those tapes.
Yes.
But you're telling the truth now.
Yes.
Why should we believe?
That lady couldn't even act correctly, like, when finding out that her husband was quote-unquote dead. So, like, I'm kind of questioning those abilities.
Yeah. Because it's what happened. It's the truth.
State of Florida versus Dalia A. Dippolito, defendant. Verdict. We, the jury, find as follows. As to count 1, we find the defendant guilty of solicitation to commit first-degree murder.
Got her again!
Information. So say we all, the 16th day of June, 2017, in West Palm Beach.
Dalia Dippolito was sentenced to
They got her again! Yo!
16 years in prison on July 21st, 2017. She was not given the possibility of parole, and her release date is set for August 24th, 2032. Her appeal was rejected by the Florida Supreme Court in September of 2019, and her sentence is now definitive. She is currently being held at the Lowell Correctional Institution in Gainesville, Florida, where she is expected to remain until the day of release. She will be 50 years old.
Big oof. Okay, that was great. Hold on while I set it to just chatting and we can... Because I want to show you guys this new, like, amazing blanket for Pride Month that I got. I don't think I'm going to review another video today. Because, like, you know. But yeah. Hold on 1 second. We good? Anyway, yeah, this is my new, like, blanket. Like, can you guys even see if I stand here? Like, it matches my flag way back here, which is great. And yeah. So yeah, I think this is where I'm gonna end it for today. Oh yeah, I have a community Discord that you all should just join. Get another link really quick. There we go. Yeah. So there is that. I also have a YouTube channel. I don't know if you guys know that. Hold on 1 second while I get the link from that. Because, like, I'm going to pander to people. And, like, yeah. And I'm super excited because I'm almost at 20 subscribers. So, yeah, there's those 2 links. Yeah, I'm going to try and figure out. Because, like, with my work schedule, it's a little inconsistent on days I have off. So, it's basically going to be whatever day I have off that day is going to be, like, when I stream, you know? So it's just entirely dependent on, like, when I get my schedule. But yeah, I am streaming tomorrow, too. It's going to be some, like, Minecraft lore and stuff. So make sure you're there for that. It'll be later on in the afternoon. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed watching. I enjoyed reacting and showing you guys my dogs. I'm going to work on getting those chat emotes. And yeah. Hope to see you guys next time. And, bye.